besieged. Across 1,000 worlds, we fight for our survival. Those that would tear humanity down are legion. Our forces are few. Our enemies, many.
I'm gonna turn the volume down.
Okay. He's got a skeleton hanging on his shield.
Yeah.
And he's okay. So okay, all right. He's fighting an army of dudes, and Hank, put a pin in that because I got some questions about the dudes. He's fighting an army of dudes. Guns melt you.
Yep.
What additional protection does that provide? Or if it's not for protection, if it's for intimidation, you can't intimidate a skeleton by showing it another skeleton.
That's true.
Especially when the skeleton you're trying to intimidate has a gun that fucking melts people. Like, what the fuck are they afraid of? Also, okay, going back to the pin, why are the skeletons robot skeletons? Are they the skeletons of dead robots?
Okay. All right. Sort of, actually.
No.
Okay, here's this guy right here. See this?
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Let's get him in the frame here. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so these guys are called Necrons.
Of course they are.
Okay, so Necrons were they're an ancient race that was around before humanity. Like, the only other race that was around when they were around was the Eldar, which are the space elves.
Yeah, the space elves.
The space elves,
I
yeah.
do know that.
And
yeah, they all look like David Bowie.
There were these star gods, and defeated their own gods and split them up into shards and enslaved them.
Okay, wait. All right. Why? They thought that was a...
It was a good idea.
That was a good idea.
So they were deciding that they're losing the war. So the entire race decided to go into stasis, and in order to do that, they uploaded their souls into robots and went underground, basically across the galaxy. And then thousands and thousands of years later, they woke up and found all these people all over their worlds, and they're mad about it now.
Okay, hang on. Why? So they downloaded their souls into robots.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna let that go for the sake of brevity. They were talking about downloading souls.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's Ghost in the Shell problems with that, but anyway.
Right. Yeah. There's Tron problems with that. How much data does? Okay. No, we're not. I said I'm gonna let it go. I'm letting it go. Okay. So presumably these robots that they downloaded their souls into could have looked like anything. They could have designed them to look like anything.
Yes.
So they designed on purpose skeleton robots.
Yeah, so the Necron tier had kind of like an Egyptian thing going. They thought it was pretty sweet. That's pretty much the only reason.
All right, I can actually respect that.
Also, the leaders of the Necrons, I can't remember if it's intentional or not, but like the regular people, they're the ones that they made into like the warriors. Like that guy right there, he was just like, before they went into cryo, he was probably like a farmer or something. But in the process of those guys, they decided to like save on their budget and didn't do a great job on downloading their like personalities and stuff. So they're conscious, but they don't really have individuality per se. But the leaders, they got everything. They're cool. Except some of them went crazy, but yeah, they got the better deal.
Okay, so let's move on and address the guns that melt people.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what makes them melt people. I'm sure it's acid or chemicals or acid radiation. I don't know. And I feel like,
well, they're called Gauze Blasters.
Oh God, please no. All right.
Gauze or whatever. Yeah.
The melt gun.
Yeah.
My question is, he melts her hand, and she's like, "But suffering is our prayer." And okay, so let me get this straight. The melting gun didn't melt her hand because she liked it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So all right.
So if she likes her hand getting melted enough, it just doesn't melt.
So all right. So this is the Sisters of Battle, right? The Adeptus Sororitas, and their whole deal is I think maybe all of them. But they're like war orphans, and they get sent to a nunnery. And the ones that can, they train them into soldiers, and they basically become like religious zealots. And for some reason, their faith in the Emperor grants them like prayer powers, clerics from D&D or something like that, where if they believe hard enough, then magical shit happens to them and they get to do stuff like this. So that's what she's doing there. And like there's definitely this sort of masochistic vibe to the whole thing where like suffering is good.
That's peak Warhammer.
These guys at the beginning, these are Imperial Guardsmen getting melted by Necron guns. Yeah. They're like, it's fine. Also, specifically, those are Cadians. You can tell from the uniform. There's this ongoing history. Their planet, Cadia, exploded. So all of the rest of the Cadians they're the only surviving ones were off-world.
Oof.
But they're also the only actual Imperial Guard model you can buy right now.
I feel like, while a planet exploding is probably tragic, I mean, I guess, unless the people are assholes.
They were.
Okay, well, fuck them then. But I feel like planets exploding is something that might happen in the 40K universe with, like, some regularity.
This is fun. I think in the 40K universe, rubble spontaneously manifests skulls. Like, why are there only skulls in the rubble? Like, where's the rest of it?
They got melted.
It's just a pile of skulls.
Michael, okay, why are they in a pile?
And the Necrons melt their enemies. Like they get deatomized is what it is.
Right. So that's even better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if you get melted or deatomized or whatever, your bones are gone.
Yeah.
So like, where do these skulls come from? Where do the rest of the bodies go? And why are they all just conveniently in? I mean, like, we know the answer to this is because they need a shot of a space marine or sister of battle walking over a pile of skulls.
I mean, yeah. All right. So the Imperium, they make a habit of collecting skulls of martyrs. Which is basically just anybody who died in battle. They collect them and they incorporate them into like the aesthetic of the buildings, or they turn them into tiny robots that fly around and do chores.
No, I remember that. I remember the tiny robots from the one session of Rogue Trader I played in that I kind of disrupted because I couldn't get past the fact that they would use the resources to make like dead baby cyborgs to do chores when they could just use you could just use Roombas. You could just make a Roomba.
Yeah, but
probably cost.
They've got a lot of dead babies lying around.
I mean, just blow them out the airlock. Like I feel like the amount of resources and technical know-how to make a dead baby a cyborg instead of just building a Roomba, which we can do with plain old 20th century technology.
So this skeleton on his shield is probably some like martyr or saint or whatever.
I feel like your hand melting and then just not melting anymore does constitute a miracle.
Yeah, yeah.
But wait, why didn't she just get completely like how do you partially deatomize somebody?
Well, the guns aren't perfect, right? It takes direct hits to completely incapacitate something. Layers of armor do help. The armor has to deatomize before it gets to the flesh. See, the regular Necron warriors ain't shit compared to the Space Marines.
For in this new dark age, there is only war.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna somehow work only war in there.